This is pretty interesting. Must the Supreme Court judges obey the Constitution? You're damn tootin', and they're not. Why aren't they? Well, let's get down here, people. The Federalist Papers were written during the 1787-88 season by Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, John Jay, to explain the purpose of the Constitution to the people and to induce them to ratify it. Thus, the Federalist Papers is the most authoritative commentary on the genuine meaning of our Constitution. Even at the University of Virginia on March 4th, 1825, these papers were put in there so that the law school people could learn. The book known by the title of the Federalist has been an authority to which appeals can be made by all, is rarely denied anywhere as evidence because of the people who framed this. They accepted the Constitution to the United States and as its real meaning. So, also they saw the Constitution as having a fixed meaning which one can learn by consulting the Federalist Papers. See if I can zoom that. Fixed meaning. Not this one that they try to twist and turn and make it into something it's not. But we have some problems here, right here. But Supreme Court judges soon refused to submit to the Constitution as explained by the Federalist Papers. In 1907, the former Chief Justice Charles Evan Hughes said, "The Constitution is what the judge says it is." Thus, they rejected the objective standards provided by the Federalists and submitted their own subjective interpretations. Law schools embraced this subversion. Instead of teaching the Constitution as a set of fixed principles explained by the Federalists, they taught the Supreme Court's opinions, which says Congress can do whatever it pleases. What they did, they stopped teaching the Constitution per se. They went to case law. When you go to law school and you only study the opinions of other judges, you're bypassing the Constitution. You're making that judge the law and not the Constitution itself. That's why it's so important when these people come up for Supreme Court justice seats, they should be asked that question. Did you study the Constitution, or did you study what other judges said about the Constitution, making that judge the law and not the Constitution? Now, anybody who was trained in this thought in case law and didn't study the Constitution has no business on the Supreme Court. None. These doggone law schools have produced generations of constitutionally illiterate lawyers and judges that have been indoctrinated with the monstrous lie that our Constitution means whatever judges in the Supreme Court says it is. Now you see what a sorry state of affairs where these lawyers insist on a view of Article 3, Section 2, which is the eye of reason contrary to the Constitution. They don't obey the Constitution. They obey the Supreme Court, as they were conditioned to do in law school. I'm going to zoom that in. They don't follow the Constitution. They don't obey the Constitution. They obey the Supreme Court, as they were taught or conditioned in law school to do so. Now, I'm bringing this up because of the doggone things about the firearm laws. They have no authority under the Constitution anywhere. It's not in the enumerated powers. It's nowhere in the Constitution. All those firearm laws that they passed, people, they're not constitutional law. They're political laws. Political laws are not constitutional. Here they are, they're up there and they're yapping at this poor guy who's on the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas. They want him to step aside. They want him to recluse himself from the January 6th cases because his wife had phoned the White House or something like that. Look at it this way. They want him to recluse himself because he has a vested interest. Well, all these people calling for him to step down all have a vested interest. They're all Democrats. They don't want justice. They want revenge. They want to teach these people a lesson because they dared to stand up to tyranny in this country. They want to punish them for it. I'm sorry, but our Constitution allows these people to do that. It did get a little out of hand, but it's kind of funny. I was proud of them. I was rooting them on. Schumer said, yeah, Thomas should recluse himself from the January 6 cases. Well, I think Schumer should resign. He hasn't been following the Constitution either. Said before, nowhere in our Constitution, anywhere, it recognizes that we have a God-given right to keep and bear arms, and it's supposed to be free from interference whatsoever from the federal government. Accordingly, the federal government is nowhere in the Constitution granted authority to abridge, restrict, or infringe in any fashion whatsoever guns or ammunition. Thus, all restrictive laws made by Congress, all regulations made by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are unconstitutional as outside the scope of powers granted to Congress and to the executive branch by our Constitution. Restriction of arms and ammunition is not one of the enumerated powers delegated to Congress or to the executive branch. As I said before, if you look in your Constitution, you'll find out you got the preamble to the Bill of Rights, and in it states that they've stuck them extra clauses as restrictive clauses in there so that the Congress could not bypass that. And that's why you have the Second Amendment. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. There's no subparagraph A, B, C, or D after the word infringe. It might stipulate what an acceptable infringement might be. Therefore, there are no infringements allowed. They are constitutionally barred. But trying to get this through to the Supreme Court, who only studied what other judges said about the Constitution, screws the American people in the backside every damn time. It's got to stop. It's got to go now. These damn firearm laws are unjust. If the Supreme Court and the Congress and all these other people in lawful positions are not going to follow the Constitution and obey its laws, the people out here do not have to either. You can write all the damn effing laws that you want, lynching laws and all this, but tell you what, you still break the law by not following the Constitution, well, hang your damn ass. You can take that to the bank, buckwheat. It's time to put these people in their place. They either follow the Constitution or get the hell out of Dodge. There's no other way. It's like a doggone Violence Against Women Act. That's a gun law that needs to be... All these gun laws are unconstitutional. There's not... The Violence Against Women thing is a retroactive law. In other words, it's ex post facto. They're not allowed to pass any retroactive laws, and they did. This goes all the way back to Adam and Eve. They should wipe all that stuff off the map. There should be no records of this. You can't justify adding punishments years or decades after someone makes a plea bargain, or even if they are convicted in a court of law. You can't do this. These are retroactive punishments for something you've already paid for. And that's what the hell they've been getting away with. And it's time to put an end to it. Okay, I've said enough.